we did the Joe Rogan podcast. We did the Joe Rogan experience. We left the next day. We got on a flight, private jet. I'm only flying private these days.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Excuse me.
When someone invites you to fly private, you go. But for the rest of the time, fly commercial, y'all. So we fly back. Why do we fly back? Because I have a show I got to do. Yes. Because for a year, we've been going back and forth with Nick Fuentes' camp about doing a podcast. I was like, I don't know. I'm more about finance and romance and helping men achieve the things they want in life, whether that's money, whether that's women, whether that's networking, whether that's becoming the best version of themselves. But more and more as I'm growing on my own, I do believe that where valuetainment plays an important role is having discussions, especially with people who have been canceled or don't have the opportunity to voice their opinions or give their thoughts on mainstream media or on platforms that have canceled them. So the more and more I thought of it, there were people saying, don't do it with Fuentes. There are people saying you should absolutely do it with it. And I'm factoring on, these are people's opinions that I value beyond, that's why I'm going to them. But ultimately I went with my gut and I said, you know what? I think it'll be an interesting conversation of a Jewish man from Valuetainment hosting a conversation with an alleged white supremacist anti-Semite known as Nick Fuentes. And I'm glad that I did the experience. So we rushed back from Rogan, got here, changed real quickly, boom, Nick's here, nice to meet you. Now we were joined by an awesome panel, Michael Sartain, Alpha Nima, Catalina Loff, who was running for Congress in Nick Fuentes' home state of all places, Illinois. And then also Amy, who I find to be a very smart woman. Yes. And then also Nat joined the panel. Yay. And it was an interesting conversation with Nick. And now, if you buy the rumors, you would think that Nick is the reincarnation of evil, if you buy what the media is selling you. Yeah. But I can tell you firsthand that I didn't have that experience at all. We actually got along. I found him to be respectful. We did a Zoom call before the show to get on the same page because we wanted the episode to not get taken down. We didn't want to draw any red flags or get any strikes from YouTube. So he helped us sort of process that. And our teams were working very much in unison. But at the same time, he's been charged with pretty serious, I won't even say allegations, just for what he stands for. So we had a conversation around what it means to be a man, a type of man. And I directly asked him sort of the tough questions of what he's been accused of saying or actually has said. So here's the first clip where I said, Nick, this is your bio. Now, if I've learned anything from Andrew Tate or being in discussions with Trump's camp or certainly sitting down with Alex Jones, you can't necessarily trust the bios that you will read on Wikipedia. Yes. So I asked him point blank, this is your bio. How much of this is accurate? How much of this is fake news? Dispel the rumors. Set the record straight. Who are you? So here's a question of me asking Nick, all right, Nick, this is what your bio says. Please respond. Here's that clip. Some of it is probably accurate. I would say most of it. Some of it might not be. Because I would like your message to be conveyed correctly. Sure. So I'm just going to read you a couple things of what it says, but then I would forget about this. 1.5. You write your own bio. I'm going to give you this, and you say, you know what? Here's what I stand for. Short, quick, not a whole espousal, right? Nick Fuentes, known for holding anti-Semitic views and denying the Holocaust. That's what it says here. He's a far-right supremacist and political commentator and live streamer. He identifies as a member of the incel movement and as a supporter of authoritarian government, and is a Catholic integralist. Integralist. Gotta learn how to read. And white Christian nationalist. In 2020, seeking to establish a white supremacist conference to rival CPAC, Fuentes began holding the annual America First Political Action Committee, AFPAC. Fuentes attended 2017 white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, and later was the attendee of speaker events preceding the 2021 United States Capitol attack. So there's a bio. How much of that is accurate? And here's your chance to write your own bio.
Well, a lot of it's not true. Every time they say my name, they got to throw in white supremacist, white nationalist, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi. You know, I don't identify with any of those things. I'd say I'm a Catholic American nationalist.
Catholic American nationalist. But you know, I understand that.
Okay, cool.
So you know, they say I gave him an opportunity to write his own bio. I don't think a lot of platforms will be willing to give a person with this reputation that opportunity. Now, I'm not asking for praise or flowers. I'm just saying, understand what we're doing here in Valuetainment. That there's been a lot of backlash. How could you have this guy on? He's a racist. He's an anti-Semitist. He's a white nationalist. But those are labels that are being thrown out there that he himself said he's not. Here's actually the next clip of me asking him point blank, are you actually any of these things?
Yeah.
Go to the next clip.
Go. Then we move on.
Okay.
Nick Fuentes,
Yeah.
welcome to the SOSCAST. Are you a racist?
No.
Okay. Are you anti-Semitic?
No.
Okay. Are you Islamophobe?
No.
Do you hate gays?
No.
Okay. Is there any single individual group you hate more than others?
No. I love all people.
Do you think? Do you hate black people?
No.
Okay. Do you think India smells?
That I do.
Okay. There we go. And
Listen,
that's what we'll go with.
restaurant.
All right.
The curry.
At this point, we will read our super chats.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for being
So
here.
thank you. So what am I saying here? You know, don't judge a book by its cover. Now, has Nick said some things that will piss off a lot of people? Yes. Can things be taken out of context? For sure. I asked him point blank, are you a racist, anti-Semite, hate blacks, hate gays? He said no. But what I am is a Catholic nationalist. So you can have the opportunity to agree or disagree, but that's what I love about America, and that's what I love about the First Amendment, and that's what I love about free speech. Draw your own conclusions. There's gonna be people basically saying, W, Nick, great job, he crushed it. Soz, way to have him on, way to hold a good panel, way to have a discussion. There's gonna be people being like, how low can you stoop? I can't believe you would have this guy on. Do you understand what he spews and all the hatred that he spews? I'll let you guys make that decision. What I know is I would rather run towards the discussion than away from the discussion. And if he said anything that I deeply disagreed with, I would call that out. Like the one thing that I firmly disagreed with was I was like, look, dude, you know, Kanye said some wild shit. Okay, you were his communications director. Is there anything you would recommend that Kanye pull back from saying? And he said no. And I was like, all right, well, you know, what Kanye said has been very hurtful. Some people might find it disgusting, but I reserve his right to say it. Now, I asked him point blank, do you think Hitler was a good guy or a bad guy?
Yes.
You know, in my opinion, I don't think you can, it's not even a debate.
Yeah.
The Hitlers of the world, the Stalins of the world, the Maos of the world, these are sort of uniformly bad people, mass murdering of people, causing world wars. It'd be very hard pressed to say, yeah, he was actually a good person. So Nick, I don't know if he pled the fifth or basically leaned towards good, but that's not where I'm gonna agree with you, bro. But at the same time, as disgusting as I think that is, and I think what that can lead to, I'm not gonna hear and say, you're a white supremacist, you're a racist. He said no, okay? Whether he was lying remains to be seen. Whether he was doing it for cameras and clicks and views remains to be seen. But from my experience, that's not what I took from it. So that's that.
I love
So-
the way you did that podcast. I think that
Thank
was
you.
phenomenal. I love that you read the bio of him and you gave him a chance to rewrite it himself and debunk whatever is said about him. And I think that's important, especially for what we do at Valuetainment, being that place where people can come and speak, you know, about who they are and what really they believe. And again, letting you guys decide. I think it was great that you also asked him, like, you know, what is your thoughts on Hitler? Like, straight up.
Yeah.
So there were certain things that you asked him that was very forward, and I think it was needed, and I loved to see you do that interview.
So here's what I'll say here, you know, and I'm Jewish. I have Jewish friends. I have
Yes.
Muslim friends. I have Christian friends. I have Buddhist friends. I have Sikh friends. I believe in equal opportunity to be friends, but also equal opportunity to make fun of people. As one of the things that I used to say as a comedian is, it's not racist or prejudiced if you make fun of everybody. Okay, well, this person knows this person that, this or that. I think where hate spews is when you single out one group as like, these are the people.
Yeah.
No, there's good people and there's bad people, and they just happen to be Jewish, Muslim, Christian, black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian. There's just people. So here's something that, maybe a message to my Jewish friends. Did you see what happened with Jamie Foxx recently?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just touch on that real quick. So I believe we are too quick, as a Jew speaking here, to label somebody an anti-Semite. So, my fear is like being the boy that cried wolf. So here's something that Jamie Foxx recently tweeted, okay? So here's what Fox said. So he tweeted, "They killed this dude Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love." Okay, so scroll down just a little bit. In that?
That's it. There's nothing under there.
There's nothing under there. All right, cool. So he came under attack of, oh, that's so anti-Semitic. How could you say that? Here's how I would interpret this. I'm just taking it on face level, on the surface.
Yeah.
He's talking about what a friend would do to you. How would I interpret? Because I've heard this term before. Like, if a friend will basically turn his back on Jesus, kill Jesus, what do you think a friend will do to you? He's obviously talking about Judas,
Right.
the Last Supper, and everything with that. I wouldn't take this as anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So here you have Jamie Foxx having to issue an apology. I'm not anti-Semitic.
that.
I have Jewish friends, and I'm like, guys, we're doing too much, okay? Lastly, it's just, and then Jennifer Aniston had to issue an apology. Little too much with that. So I don't believe that it's anti-Semitic. Then you have Cardi B recently, basically
yeah.
having to deal with some drama after a concert. So here she's throwing a microphone at a fan at a concert. If you have that image.
Yeah.
Cardi B and her lawyers, thanks her lawyers, after basically being a suspect of battery. Scroll down, Malik. See if you can find that video of her throwing a microphone. All right, you don't have it. But if you go even lower, ironically enough, Malik, please pull that back up. She has a shout out in her song. Scroll down, brother.
Scroll down. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay, right there. So trending, lawyer is a Jew. So she said in one of her lyrics, from Bickenhead, this is Cardi B, lawyer is a Jew, he gonna chew up all the charges. All right,
She is a comedian.
there's a comedian. So,
I love it.
People have been basically saying, well, that's anti-Semitic. She's saying her lawyers are Jewish. It's like,
my God.
no, they are Jewish, but then she's actually giving the lawyers a compliment.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one is it? So here's how I interpret this to my Jewish friends. Let's stop throwing the anti-Semitic term anytime it comes up because it loses credibility. All right, just as a blanket statement, oh, anti-Semite, oh, anti-Semite.
Yeah.
And let's reserve it for the real anti-Semitic, the real racist comments, and not being so sensitive, because there's levels to all this. So let's not be the little boy who cried wolf. At the same time, I think it's important to show these stats that has been put out by the FBI, because some of this stuff is real. So here's some stats from the AEI. And
AEI.
let's pull that up. So based on no, the other article, if you don't mind. Oh, this is it. Yeah. Based on 2019 FBI data, Jews were 2.6 times more likely than blacks and 2.2 times more likely than Muslims to be victims of hate crimes.
Oh.
Very interesting. Scroll down on that. Okay, so here's the stat that shows that U.S. hate crimes punch in per 100,000. So, when Jewish people basically say, hey, man, that's anti-Semitic. Hey, man, yeah, I have an issue with that. It's because the facts show that Jew hatred is actually pervasive and only getting worse. So as a Jew, I sympathize with my people and I empathize with my people, but there's different levels to this. Show the other article, by the way. So anti-Semitic incidents are on the rise across the U.S., report finds. If you scroll down, basically it shows that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, found that anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. increased by more than 35% from 2,700 in 2021 to over 3,700 in 2022. So to my Jewish friends out there, I feel you. I get it. Like, we do need to stand for ourselves. We do need to stand for prejudice, stand against racism, stand against anti-Semitism. But let's be careful with what we're labeling anti-Semitism, because the Jamie Foxx thing, not so much. The Cardi B thing, not at all. Nick Fuentes, maybe some, maybe not. Kanye, for sure. But actual hate crimes is on the rise. So let's just be mindful with that.
But you
We
know
gotta
what
move
also
on.
is on the rise? Victimhood. So that makes sense. So everybody wants to be a victim today, so everybody's sensitive to things. There's things that where polls are showing certain things, and like, I don't even get offended at some of these things, and I may fall in a category. But again, I don't look at myself as a victim in that space. So like, a lot of these things wouldn't even affect me. And that's, I was going to ask you, you know, being a Jew, do you feel like it has affected the way you do business or life today?
Not at all. Not in the
Okay.
least. I think victimhood is a very unattractive quality, whether you're Jewish, Black, Armenian,
Yes.
Japanese, Latino. I think we all deal with struggles, and if you identify as a victim, that's who you'll be. But if you're saying, hey, listen, life sucks. Life's hard. Sometimes shit sucks, but I got to deal with it, become the best version of myself, and face adversity. I think that is that is incumbent on every man to do.
So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire SOSCAST, click right here.